this man was shot by police, and investigations need to be done. Yesterday he was pronounced dead, but the police officers who are involved in this, up to now, Kenyans are not informed on the legal measures that have been taken so far. And they said the cabinet secretary did that and has not been ordered even by the parliament to provide clarity on what he meant by that.
ETV Africa News at this hour.
Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Ken Babu, and I'm here to address a critical issue surrounding the recent abduction of one Ndiangui Kinyagia, a young man who was picked somewhere around Rwaka, as per the information that we've been having, and went missing until now, has not been able to be found. But the most saddening part is the fact that Ndiangui has an MCA elected from wherever he comes from, has an MP elected from wherever he comes from, has a senator and a governor. But none of these leaders has come out to call out the government and to call out the authorities to at least release this young man or provide him in a court of law and be charged by whatever wrong that he did. We have, it's unfortunate that the DCI came out recently and said that they do not have him in their custody. So we are asking questions, where is he? Kenyans are asking to know, where is the young man? If the DCI do not have him, then it means that we are in a country where somebody just going to disappear and not found, and then the authorities are not able to establish where they are. It is the responsibility of the officers, police, the DCI, IPOA, to work hand in hand to ensure that a case like this one, they take responsibility and find out where the young man is. If Amin is saying that he's hiding, the DCI has got all the resources to pick him from wherever he's hiding, if it's true that he's hiding. And if they have him, let them produce him to the courts so that Kenyans can have peace, his families can relax and have some rest. It is very sad that as a country today, we are in a situation where leaders have got so much egocentric, and incompetence level is so high to an extent that a cabinet secretary can confidently and without shame order the police to shoot civilians who are trying or who are running towards police station to seek asylum or to seek protection. And they say the cabinet secretary did that and has not been ordered even by the parliament to provide clarity on what he meant by that. It is very unfortunate that the cabinet immediately after he said that, he was still admitted in the cabinet meetings. So we are asking ourselves, are we a country that is led by the rule of law, or we are a country that is led by the rule of men who occupies state powers at that given time? Based on what Kipchumba Murkomen said, it is in order that he be suspended from cabinet sittings. 1, 2, the National Assembly Security Committee needs to invite him to provide clarity on what he meant by that. Because if not done that way, then very soon we are going to see police brutality in disguise of those orders. And he must also be informed that any killing that is going to happen going forward will be under those orders. So he must be ready to face charges of any police brutality that is going to happen anytime from now. Because we will assume that the police are working under the orders that he said that came from above. Recently, we saw Boniface Kariuki, a young vendor who was shot fatally by a police officer, live in cameras. And I want to say that in the event that, in case Boniface was not shot on cameras, the police could have given us very many stories of what happened and what did not happen. They could have given us very many tales and propagandas to cover up the killing. Unfortunately or fortunately, the young man's death or the young man's shooting was lively covered on cameras. And Kenyans and even interested observers are much aware that this man was shot by police and investigations need to be done. Yesterday he was pronounced dead, but the police officers who are involved in this, up to now, Kenyans are not informed on the legal measures that have been taken so far. That's why we are saying that the government must take this matter serious. And the Interior Cabinet Secretary must take the lives of Kenyans serious. He has the responsibility to protect the properties and, most importantly, to protect the lives of Kenyans. Boniface did not have to die through such a painful and untimely manner. The police officers who on that record shooting the young man must be arrested and brought to book. This thing might appear so small, but it's a critical issue, and Kenyans are asking questions. What is happening in this country? Are we safe? Do we have a nation? Sadly enough, we have a council that is called National Youth Council, which essentially is tasked and should be the voice of the youth. Unfortunately, sadly enough, from the day of June 2024 up to now, we've lost over 60 young Kenyans. But the National Youth Council, which is essentially should be the voice of the youth, has not said anything, has not produced any position statement, has not condemned the brutal attacks on young people, has not provided any policy advice on what should be done to curb this issue. I want to tell the president that if the National Youth Council was functional, today we couldn't be having young people on the streets, because whatever the agitation that the young people are taking to the streets could have been addressed by the National Youth Council through different barazas in different counties, constituencies, and ward levels. But unfortunately, the council, which is well budgeted and financed from the exchequer with the taxes of Kenyans, has been reduced into a photo shoot studio where people are just taking photos and nothing is happening. We want to tell the president that the National Youth Council must be restructured with immediate effect. Kenyans are agitated on this issue, and the youth are saying that we cannot have a moribund council siphoning money from taxpayers and doing nothing. If the current National Youth Council structure as it is not restructured and put into work, then date 7 July, Sabasaba, I want to call upon young people to occupy the Absa Towers and ensure that the occupants of that office are taken home, all of them, because they have not been able to deliver that which they should do. I want to say to the occupants of Absa Towers that we wrote to you to provide a position statement on the brutal murder of Albert Ojwang, of brutal killing of youth by the regime, and you did not do anything about it. You ignored that. Instead, the CEO of the National Youth Council responded by telling the youth, issuing a threat that anybody who tries to occupy Absa Towers, demanding for the National Youth Council to do what is right, will be shot by police. I want to tell you that the youth of this country have lost hope, and such threats do not mean anything anymore. If it means it will take pressure and tension to ensure that the National Youth Council gets to its feet and do the right thing, we shall be at the Absa Towers. So it doesn't matter how much police officers you are going to hire to shoot or to attack the youth for you to keep staying and doing nothing. We shall be there. You better prepare the police, you prepare your troops, because the youth are going to come to Absa Towers to occupy and ensure that the National Youth Council works as it should. And if you are not ready to deliver and work for the young Kenyans, then you better do the best and proper thing, resign and go home. It is not by death, or it is not by excessive power that you'll be in that office. Other people have been in that office. They've done what they could do. You are mandated to ensure that the National Youth Council holds their elections, which up to now you have proven that you cannot do it. The level of incompetence you've showed and the silence you've showed while young Kenyans are facing brutality and facing wrath of police, is loud enough to show that you are not fit to hold that office. This is not a personal war. This is a war to ensure that we have functional structures. When Kibaki approved the National Youth Council, he knew what he was doing. And I don't think he had people like yourself in mind who will come into office and fail to do what they should do, but again issue threats for Kenyans demanding that they do the right thing. The president himself is struggling to convince even the young people that this government is working. And the National Youth Council, which is mandated to ensure that the youth are well represented and the voice of young people are well communicated, is equally doing nothing. And the leadership of the council is roaming around, issuing threats left, right, and siphoning taxpayers' money while doing nothing. We want to tell you that you must do what is needed or shape out. It is not a walk in the park anymore. You are going to deliver the National Youth Council leadership as you are right now. You are either going to deliver or quit the offices. That is the position. And by 7th July, we will come to those offices and you will give us proper responses. And you must give us your position on these brutalities and the challenges that young Kenyans are facing. Failure to which you will have to resign and seek other alternatives. This is not a personal war. This is a war to ensure that the institutions that are tasked to work for the young Kenyans are working. If today we have a different CEO in that office or a different chair and they fail to deliver, Kenyans will still ask them to step aside or deliver. So it's up to you. You have the responsibility, you know the roles, you know the deliverables. You either deliver or quit. Thank you.